Okay. 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 Sorry, my girl.
Come on, please. Die durchziehen und die dann stolpern so. Das muss ein bisschen sehen. Come on, please.
Like, yeah, from the front, 74.
Die letzte Nummer.
50?
56.
56. We are microchipping the body and the two horns, and then we're also recording the length of the horns for identification should anything happen to the animal. We usually identify the animal by the lines of their lips, but obviously when you find a carcass that is gone, and you need to have other points of identification for it. I just found this big herd of elephants at Springbok Dam, so when you're ready you can come out.
Okay, I'll be on my way soon.
When you have a drought, you have to become very realistic. You have to take every species on its own, where's the most damage done and what needs to be looked after. The impact on the habitat is very harsh if the elephants overpopulate an area or in drought situations, because they try, just like any other species, try to eat whatever is left. Our first option is always to find buyers who would buy the game alive. With that we can get huge numbers off in a short time, and then also establish new areas with the live game.
You want to keep all the animals here and you want to look after them, but you get to a point where it just practically isn't possible. You get emotional decisions and practical decisions, and if you want to keep the animals alive in the future, you need to be taking practical decisions, even if they're not easy. If we don't manage the animals, they basically eat themselves out of their environment. And then you don't just lose a few animals, but you lose all of them. We have two ways to physically manage populations. One is live capture, so that's where we do game capture and then we move the animals to different areas. Unfortunately, when it's a drought, nobody really has room for other animals. So the other way to manage a population is to cull them and shoot them and then process the meat. That sounds like a harsh management method. It's not about the ones you take out, but about the ones you leave behind.
Almost lost your patience, oder? Well done.
Net da
Yes,
muss der Wind drehen.
yeah. Well done. Yes, you've done a great job. Wow, absolutely. Perfect family groups, perfect selection, no young ones, just absolutely perfect. Neu.
Just doing some surveillance flying on overhead Mount Ichu, and our flight level is 5,500 feet. Echo Golf Kilo. This was all cattle land, maybe 4 species left. So from the beginning, since 1975, we had it totally transferred back into a wildlife and a game reserve.
We know with the drought, the elephants have to be reduced. They are the gardeners of Africa. It's important to keep them also so that they are not destructive to their own garden. If they overgraze your property, you lose all the other species because the elephants, they graze from the bottom up right to the top. The risk for the elephants staying here is starvation in the end. It would just absolutely break my heart to see starving elephants. We have to be realistic and we have to do the translocations. So nice to see this. Look at this, elephant's only species lacking. How nice is that? You know, it all comes to the circle now. Society kind of lays down rules or barriers or something. You go to school and the next step is university and you get your degree and then you get married and this, you know, the normal kind of thing that society expects from you. Which obviously my road started that way and Jan came into my life. And it was a decision for me to make against all rules or norms. And there was an immediate connection. A connection that I probably couldn't sum up at that time, but it felt right. Back in the 60s, Jan was employed by the Hlui Game Reserve as a game ranger, protecting wildlife. But when he got there, he got handed a rifle. And it was to him such a sad story that this park was so overpopulated they had to actually cull the game. He was just tireless working at an idea of so many other parks had been depleted of game. Why not relocate them into the parks there where the game was depleted? That is part of his character. It just had driven him.
A specialist in his field, with many years' experience in East Africa, Southwest and South Africa, Jan Oelfose set about his work with a will, and eventually came up with an entirely new scheme, which not only serves the purpose, but has revolutionized all existing methods of animal capture. Within a period of 6 years, 16,000 animals have been saved from certain death.
The possibility to move large amounts of game pretty much just changed everything. You could have private game reserves and game farms could be set up, taking back land that had been used for cattle farming. You reintroduce wild game and re-establish natural populations. Still, to this day, they use exactly the same method. It's nice to grow up with your parents being, that driven for the same cause and to have the same passion for something. Thinking back now, you realize how amazing it was growing up with the rhinos and with all the other little animals that my mom was raising constantly. But back then, it was just part of life. You grew into it, and it was normal to be on my bike heading home from school and then stopping by the rhino and giving it a few scratches and then getting on the bike again and heading home. To me, it was what we did. It was what life was like. It was what we fought for. It was just part of us.
I grew up out in the bush, and we went to boarding school, and I went to university, starting off in the medical profession. And my life was I always had an interest in nature. I was always nurturing wild animals back to life and put them out back into the bush. Jan and I started a relationship which I never regretted. He was much older than me, but it just felt right for me. I just felt like this was my life. We were just passionate about conserving, and the 30 years that we were together, we shared every day together. I just felt, this is what my calling was, right inside me.
Our hopes and dreams are to enlarge the property rather than to make the animals fewer. We got 22,000 hectares now, but it's still too small. In a drought situation, it's so vulnerable to droughts that you have to have a surplus of land and grass really to maintain the animal population throughout the seasons.
Annette, what's the difference between raising a son and raising a rhino?
I think it's very much the same.
Was this a kind of establishing the herd here?
These were the very first elephants that came here. And the first herd was established from orphaned elephants and also elephants that came from human-wildlife conflict areas. It was so beautiful for him to see how the herd established, and then he always said, fortunately, one day it's going to be your problem when they overpopulate the area. We leave the grass around it because we have so much to struggle with drought. And he always said he doesn't want to have to experience another drought in his life. The day he passed, there was the big elephant bull kind of hung around the house. When we had the funeral, we came up here. As we left and when the ceremony was done, sure enough, the big elephant bull was coming around. And he stayed around this kopje for the whole night. And the next 2-3 days, I don't know what that meant, but it means a lot to us. It's like that he, you know, he deserved to have had his respect paid by the ones that he loved and for who he created this beautiful environment.
When my dad passed, she just kept going. Yeah, it's a lot of people always saw my dad as the big figure here and all that, but my mom was there all the way. You know, there's the saying, behind every great man there's a great woman, and my dad said that's not true. He said beside every great man there's a great woman, and that's how they were. They did everything together.
With the 7 years drought, we had buyers that offered to buy elephants from us, but it was for China and it was for Saudi Arabia. And despite the drought, we made the decision this is not where an African animal belongs.
Elephants they've got feelings, and they're pretty special animals, and they're very intelligent animals. So you can't move an elephant to a place where it doesn't feel at home. You know, it's just not. It just wouldn't be right to the animal. So moving them to a place where it would feel wild and live a natural life, it was very important to us.
We have a cow here. Her calf, she's the only one that at the moment has a 3/4 grown calf, which is the right size that we can actually take. And she's not heavy in calf, so that should be she should be traveling quite well. When Alex told me that he's found a buyer and that would be Congo DRC, I was relieved. The thought of the Congo being lush and so much water was an advantage to preparing myself mentally that this is a good move. Now the project had to be put into motion.
They have caught a lot of elephants. If they sort of say, get out of the way, or please do this, or please do that, then help.
When the elephant goes down, Ruan and his team will sort of position the elephant. If the elephant doesn't come down, they will try to push it over, and they will make sure that the trunk is free.
To me, it feels it's my responsibility. I have decided which animal goes, and that animal's life is in my hands. It kind of eats me inside.
Oké, mogen we. Heb je me gehoord, Flippy?
There's this switch you have to switch and say, listen, this has to happen. We have to make it some or other choice, you know. But I think it was very difficult for Annette to do that. But then at a certain time you realize, you know, these animals are suffering.
I think when you get to that 7th year of drought, you know, one takes it season by season, but you've put so much into the land and you've built up your species, and you see the drought year by year taking away that beauty. That erosion cuts so deep into you that somewhere deep in us there's a core where we dig in and we keep on finding that strength.
nie ander gate kan maak nie. Ons
Blood
maak
pressure is very low. Blood pressure is very low. She's breathing okay, but
Ja.
If you take a family structure, the whole translocation process is already a little more successful because those animals know each other, they have a different hierarchy, they have respect for each other, and yeah, to me it was very important that a family stays together. They darted 2 already, so there's 2 more coming up.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick. Coming now. I think until the day that I see them walk off and disappearing in the Congo forest, I will be sort of, worrying for their well-being. Amazing how calm they are now. I mean, they're just content. It soothes their souls and it soothes my soul.
Every morning you wake up, you rush out and you just count the feet of the elephant. Is everybody still okay? Everybody still on their feet? It's an epic trip. It's very cool, but it's also, for me, it's very stressful. I feel bad for these animals in a way because, I mean, you taking them out of their natural area, you put them in crates, you put them on a ship, you go with them over the ocean. You know it's for a good cause, but there is not a better way than transporting them by ship.
The stress on the first day is like extreme. From a complete wild environment, helicopter capturing, putting them in a confined area, then all this noise that goes with it until they load it onto the ship. And so the elephants have sort of calmed down and accepted this is what it is. They're feeding very well. It's just absolutely beautiful. She's very clever. And so she comes through and she grabs a piece of lucerne and she takes it back and she throws it on the ground there for her little one. They go happily eat in the big container. Today I find myself sometimes in challenges thinking, wonder how he would have handled it and what he would have said. In the blink of a moment you have to make a situation work, or you have to sort of rescue a certain situation, or if something comes up you have to make plans. And that is what I learned from him, just go for it. Once you make the decision, don't turn around, don't ever hesitate. You make a decision to do it, then you go and you do it. He was definitely one of a kind. If he had an idea, he would pursue that idea to the utmost. Our dream is, if we have too many animals, put them into another park where they will thrive the same way. Wildlife management is not always a romantic journey. It is so simple and yet so intricate, because this is the stretch between life and death. To me, so beautiful how he's just got these little bull characteristics in him. I'm going to protect my mama, you know. So he's kind of want his tidbits, but then he's also saying, stay off a little bit. This is new, huh? You don't know this. It's so new. You don't like it. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. And du? Likst du das? Is it good? Maybe. When, you know, the elephant deal came up to the Congo DRC, it was to me like, I've never even thought about the Congo DRC, because that's on the map of always having turmoil. And suddenly realizing, well, there are little pieces that don't have turmoil. And if it comes down from the top, from the political will to change this, then conservation is going to thrive in Africa again. Our model of conservation in this whole conservation model here is wildlife has to generate the capital for the conservation of wildlife. We've never believed in living off donor money. We wanted something that is sustainable. The only way to do that is if wildlife has a value and wildlife generates that capital for wildlife. We brought them here live, up to Matadi. I would hate something because of the animal to happen now, but it's out of our hands.
When we arrived in the Congo, we were held at the harbor. Then we noticed that the elephants they were very uncomfortable. You don't really want to drive through Kinshasa during the day. We actually want to get onto the road because as the animals are on the road, they focus on standing. They're not so busy with themselves. At one point we made a decision, we can't wait any longer and we're just gonna drive.
I just couldn't wait for this moment to get rolling.
We have to cross Kinshasa during the day and police and the army that is there, they must just get the people out of the way for us. Kinshasa is a massive city with millions of people. So driving with these elephants and these big crates through the middle of the day is obviously, that's a very logistical challenge.
When the roads became worse and it became also picking up speed and then slamming on the brakes, and I think that is where all of us started worrying.
Another issue was that the bridges through Kinshasa are too low for the elephant crates. They're so high, so you have to basically go around the bridge. But around the bridge is local markets and there's millions of people there. We go. Yeah.
All the way driving, it's the whole time it is with you. It's the whole time with you. You're so stressed out, sitting in that car, knowing you can't do anything. My whole thoughts was always just, let's get there, let's get there.
Can we check elephant?
Check, standing. Go, 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 go. Huh?
But I cannot just want to come out.
She managed to charge the...
I think she went just nuts inside.
Okay.
She wanted to get out and...
We live so close to nature that life and death is obviously part of our thoughts every day. And on my journey through all this, I have managed a lot of things at the same time. And I remember very clearly being diagnosed with cancer. They said, okay, you're leaving ICU. And I said, oh, well, nice, you know. And they said to me, I'm going to the 3rd floor and so and so. And after a few hours, I realized, oops, this is a cancer ward, you know. It just hadn't struck me. But in the process of getting this harsh chemotherapy and in the process of trying to find your own strength and everything, it just brought reality right there. It gave me the other extreme of health and freedom and and just being out there, and life is life. And then driving for the next hour, you kind of think about it, and then you just switch over. We still successful. We still have a lot of animals on board. Keep concentrating on that. Having Rudy here now, it feels like the burden has been halved.
Nog een keer skut. Nog een keer die Olifant. Ja, extra stuk. Ich kann das nicht besser so, ich muss still bleiben.
He has this intense connection with the elephants, and just knowing now we can share sort of that same emotional journey.
When you're in the park and you see those trucks pulling in, and you know, okay, now you can breathe. It kind of felt nice to know that they're going to a place where there would always be enough food in abundance. This is the start of a new life. It's a really good feeling.
"60 years ago, Jan did almost the same journey. He was working for the film Hatari, starring John Wayne, Elsa Martinelli. He was in charge of all the animals for the movie. He took the elephants to Hollywood, and it always burdened him that he took elephants from Africa, out of Africa, to a different continent. It was something that always burdened him, it always journeyed with him, but now I wish I could share with him that we now complete the journey for him and bringing elephants back into the depth of Africa.
Shit. It's such a happiness with a sadness. Well done.
Yeah, I'm so glad she's out and she took her time and it's fine.
Yeah.
That's Annette from Mount Echo.
That's tears of happiness.
Thank you. It's
Tears of happiness.
Yeah, it's tears of happiness, and
Beautiful
I know,
environment that you give.
Yeah, I appreciate that you have this beautiful place established, and that the elephant will have. They live in Eden.
They will thrive.
I was looking forward to seeing the elephants, the first lot that came in, and how they adapted, and there was a specific old cow with them, an older cow with them. We had a connection, especially Rudy also had a connection with her.
It makes you feel happy because you know these animals are going to have a hell of a time. You know, they're not going to struggle with droughts and with having not enough food.
It's new.
I'm just looking what they're eating. It's a lot of grass. Fine grass. Follow the track.
See them?
Yes, listen. They just under this, over the ridge.
think it's another three. Maybe there's a bit more.
Hey! 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 Ah! Hey! Hey! Ah!
Rudy was still saying, run, 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 and then the next minute I heard this deep oof from him. This is when I turned around, because I knew she had taken him.
Oei, erg is hier.
De ademhaling is bij hier.
Doe niet zo beweeg, alsjeblieft.
Die next stop.
Ja, my rug is die eerste. My rug is die eerste.
Jetzt mal das Handtuch weg. Okay, terminé. Nee, blutet nicht zu quiet.
Emergency.
On a une urgence, on a Juan qui a été attaqué par l'éléphant. Et c'est très sérieux. 205, 205.
Then I saw the big gash in his stomach where like a 2-centimeter stream of blood was pumping out. And that's where I thought we're going to lose him. I didn't realize the reason he was behind us was because he didn't want us to get hurt. He could have dashed by us like no time. And I only realized it, a little later that he was protecting us from the cow. The ICU specialist came out and he said to me, you better stay close because if it happens fast. And that's all what he said. And I was sitting there and trying to figure out, and I didn't want to realize that he said, if death comes, it comes fast. I just wanted to cut that out of my brain. I didn't want to accept that. If they operate on him, there's a 50-50 chance that they lose him on the table. What option is there? When we were still in Kinshasa and he got out of the coma, the very first thing he tried to ask me is, what did I say, what happened? I said that it wasn't the elephant's fault and it wasn't your fault. It was nobody's fault. It is just what is and what happened. And he was so relieved with that answer. Fighting for his life, but he wanted the world to know it was not the fault of the elephant.
Is it? When she just arrived, you wouldn't have dared to be this close to her. And she came charging full speed every time. And look at her now. At the back of your mind, and there's always a risk of something happening. I can just imagine me swimming in the ocean and get attacked by a shark. I would never go back into the ocean. But working with these elephants and spending so much time with them, I can't see myself not going back and not spending time and missing out on all those beautiful elephant experiences. Yeah.
Every risk that we have taken so far, they are in the back of our mind, but you have to take a risk to win. And what I would like to see is that every species in this beautiful ecosystem survives and has a place to stay and is safe. Realize, that we are part of the chain. We are not on top of the chain, we are part of the chain, and the more we realize it, the more we will protect and we will look after it.
If things keep going the way they are with climate change, this is what we need to get used to, and this is our new status quo. We won't be able to keep as many animals where we are. You hope that each next season is going to be a good rainy season again, and then it isn't. You end up thinking to yourself, is this ever going to change? When you sit down at night and you think about that and you don't know what the future holds, it can be pretty disheartening.
It takes a few months before the rains come. Do they come? You cannot just move your game. Where do you move it to? That's desperate times. Since you were here last time, we released 4 rhinos back into the wilderness, and subsequently more came in. 2 of them came directly from poaching. There's your... Ja. Hallo kleine muisie. Hello muisiekind. She's been here since she was about 3.5 months old. Everything is beautiful about her. She's got beautiful ears and feet and very vocal, loves to talk to me. Oh, ja, is dat zo lekker. Oh, dat is zo lekker, nee. Ja.
She's quite an amazing person. I mean, that connection she's got and that passion, that very deep-rooted passion that she has to take care of everything. Sometimes you think, how can she do all this?
It wasn't easy because the biggest challenge is obviously the drought in our country. So you can plan ahead and you can make your figures on the financial side. But then suddenly drought comes in and you have huge other expenses.
You see every day how nature deteriorates because it needs water and it needs, to feed the animals. And when you see both the nature deteriorating and the animals deteriorating with that, it's saddening and it works on you.
Over the years when we started, we used to have 2 years of drought and then 5 years of good rain. It just took such a dip that we've never experienced. The last cycle was just so extreme We've never given up. We always said even if we have to give our last shirt for the animals to be fed and push through the drought. Conservation is such a long term, and it's such an unselfish act. The enrichment is not materialistic. The enrichment is you gain so much in what you do and what you put back, and looking back now, this is the enrichment that we gained from everything. When I was young, I didn't know my life was going to go this way. It's as though the place has called for me. My blood is here. To live with the wildlife and to never give up hope for conservation.